Hello, I'm Matthew H., and I'm a rising junior at San Francisco University High School. And for the third and final milestone of my LED moving light controlled by DMX, I built the case for my light, which allows for the motors to spin relatively unobstructed, about 360 degrees, and for it to tilt about 180 degrees, giving the LEDs coverage of everywhere within the usable range. I also added a fan and heat sinks to the motor drivers to keep them cool because they were overheating, causing them to go into thermal shutdown. I added the connectors for the DMX in and a DMX out, as well as two power jacks, one for the 5 volts to power the LEDs, and one for 12 volts to power all of the electronics inside. I had a bunch of problems during assembly that were related to the electronics. Two motor drivers overheated and the H bridges both died. So I replaced them with new ones and made sure to watch their temperatures to make sure they didn't overheat anymore. My original design had a much larger frame, similar to more conventional LED moving lights for theater, with a big U about here, but the motor couldn't spin that, or the LED panel, which was suspended in the middle due to torque issues. I fixed that by, as you can see, minimizing the size by just mounting the motor directly onto the tilt motor directly onto the pan motor, and the LED frame, the LEDs just onto the motor. I also had to turn up the current limits on the motor drivers because they were way too low for the motors. They were at around 175 milliamps, and the motors are rated up to 1.75 amps. I also had a problem where one of the motor drivers would continually disconnect, and I fixed that by fixing some of the solder joints by reflowing them on both the motor driver itself and on the solder board, but it's still a little shaky. I also, while testing, accidentally plugged 12 volts into the LEDs, which are rated only for 5 volts, which fried them all. So things to do later is swap the LED panel and add more LEDs so it gives them a bit more coverage and makes them brighter, so they actually work this time, as well as iron out the reasons for the motor driver not connecting.